Hey, good evening, everybody. You know what time it is. It is time for Indigo Inspired Live here, and well as with the collab with my brother Sherwin from Gospel Music Buzz. So good to have you guys tune in. And as you're coming into the room, you know what to do. Hey, share the live, baby. Share the live because we're going to have a great show for you tonight. And I'm waiting for my brother Sherwin Williams. But as you are coming into the room, do me a favor. Let everybody know. Let me know where let us know where you're watching from. We would love to know where you're watching from. I see my brother, he's coming into the building, so I'm excited about that. And in the meantime, hey, tag and share. You know how we do on Thursdays at 8 p.m. here on Instagram. Listen, we
What's
got
good?
our
What's
Rep Your
good? What's
Section
up,
merch
y'all?
on, baby.
Let me step back. I gotta make sure it's seen. I gotta make sure the merch is seen. I'm the unofficial. I'm one of the unofficial
Bruh.
brand ambassador. I'm the unofficial brand ambassador. What's good, my sister? What's happening?
Hey, listen, we are up here. We are turning it all the way up here on the collab here on Instagram Live. So once again, guys, make sure that you tag 10 people, 20 people,
Yeah, let
100
me
people, let them know,
send this to a
hey,
few
the
people
collab
right now.
is in the Instagram building. So yes, we are coming in hot, bro. Listen, y'all want to
What's
cop this
good?
merch? This mic is hot. I'm telling you, and Sherwin is wearing the official Rep Your Section music brand hat because he represents all things music. And you can
I
check out our gear at shopindiego.com. That is shop SHOPINDIEGO.com to get your gear. Listen,
I
Rep Your
have to
Section.
say though, the Juneteenth stuff, I have to order mine like today. I mean, that design was just fire. I was looking at it the other day as I'm scrolling through. I'm like, wait a minute. Let me put in my order now just to make sure I get it in time so I have some swag to wear. But yeah, that's a dope design for sure.
Listen, we definitely, and he already dropped the surprise because it's I leaked it a little bit, but this is the official. Listen, you know what June is? June is all things black on black, baby. It's Black Music Month in June, but it's also Juneteenth, June 19th, where
Yeah.
we celebrate with hey, slavery was abolished. And we're not going back, baby. Trust and believe we're not going back in 1865. So please go to Shop Indigo. You will see it right there. Pre-order your shirts. These will sell out. I promise you.
Yeah,
Th- Yeah.
I believe that. So that's why I saw that. Carlos, what's up, my brother? What's happening, man?
Yo, Carlos. Hey, we got to talk because well, we'll talk about that later when we talk about Atlanta stuff. But in the meantime, everybody, welcome to
Yeah,
the collab here. My brother Sherwin Williams, Gospel Music Buzz. Remember the three Z's on the IG. Listen, didn't I'm
I
spitting
like it.
words
I like
tonight.
it. You are here spitting that little flow of three G's in the eye. I hear you.
Listen, I don't know what just took place. Hey, it could be the Gatorade. But anyway,
So, no,
uh,
yeah, I could jump into my updates before we bring them on. I know they know who we're going to be speaking with tonight. We're
yeah,
going to be speaking with Jessica from over at Writing Wrongs Music, Writing Wrongs
our
Gospel,
people.
all things Writing Wrongs. And we're going to also be speaking with Melvin Charles as well, is going to be coming on tonight. So I'm excited. They've been doing some amazing things. I'm excited to be talking about what they're doing. And
Yeah,
then as far as the charts is concerned, so kind of starting with the national charts, Pamela Mann, 2 weeks right now, the number one spot on the national with He Did It For Me. But what was interesting about this one is that this is her ninth, and if I'm not mistaken, this is her ninth number one single. So I mean, that is pretty
yeah.
impressive.
That's
To have
major.
nine. I mean, I don't even think if I were to get nine, I don't even have enough space on my wall to put nine plaques. Like I mean, that
Mm-hmm.
is
Mm-hmm.
that is super dope. So shout out to her and her team. Like, they're doing amazing things over there.
Yes.
But also, before I move on to the Gospel Indicator chart, I have to shout out my boy Lamont Sanders, top 10. Lamont is closing in the top 10 spot, number 10, with
Yes.
his single, He Kept Me. And man, that song is just climbing. It's just climbing the charts. So,
Yeah.
everyone over there Radio Robin, the entire team, Bear Tag, Fred Jerkins, that entire team, they're doing some really great stuff as well too. So shout out to that team. And then also on the Gospel Indicator chart, we have Dawkins and Dawkins with their song, their Come By Here. And speaking of, well, actually, that song has been on there for about 6 weeks now, so they may
Yeah.
be going for a record soon because they're just locking in. They're comfortable there. Shout out to Uncle G and his squad.
Once again,
Uncle G said we wouldn't be out work, and he ain't being out work, man. So
and
he's
he
just
meant what he
doing
said.
he's doing his thing. And I actually saw Dawkins and Dawkins as well as Uncle G when they were over at SOB for a few weeks
I
on.
was jealous. I was
Yeah, on the
so jealous.
Roosevelt.
I got the
The road
invitation and
to
I knew I couldn't make
Roosevelt.
it. I was like, yo, like, wow. And then when I saw
Yeah,
pictures,
yeah.
I'm like, what? Sherman's in the building, Hassan's in the building, of course,
Yeah,
Sean's in the building.
it
Yeah.
was dope, man. Anthony Hall, man, that guy, they gotta watch out for
Oh,
him, man. He's dangerous, man. He is just like super, super, super talented. Just his style, his vibe, like just seeing
yeah.
him and his team. We got to do a quick interview on site at SOB, which was super cool. I hung there for a while, then I had to leave because I had a super early flight the next day to Florida. But
Hmm.
I was there for a bit. It was really great seeing Uncle G, seeing Mita Washington, DJ,
Yeah.
Tony Tone, a bunch of people there in New York basically came out in support. But yeah, so that's it on the Gospel Indicator chart. But also rounding out on the top five for the Indicator chart, we got Kim Person there, as well as Trayvon Perry and Team DP from out in Brooklyn. So shout
Yeah.
out to them. They've been, and doing music, doing radio, kind of been putting in their time for quite a long time now. So it's
Yeah.
great to see them, moving up the charts as well. So that's my update on that. And just in a general music front, there's a lot of great music is going to be releasing tomorrow. Naomi Rain's also going to be
Hmm.
releasing her single off of her upcoming project Journey
Yeah.
that's happening tomorrow. I got a chance to listen to that single, and that single, my. So yeah, it's a lot of great things that's happening as well. But yeah, we can go ahead and jump into it. We can bring them on if they're in the room.
Yeah, no, we want to make sure we're going to bring them in the room just in a moment. So we want to also give a couple of shout outs. Okay, Los is in here from Urban Soul Cafe. We saw our friend Josh Hurt is in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
building. Yes, we see Angela Moss Poole. I saw her come in the room as well. So
yeah.
hey
Angela's
guys,
been
it's good.
traveling all over. I know she's gonna be this week. She's gonna be at FAMU Jazz Fest or something like that. They're gonna be doing
Mm,
this week. So
yeah.
yeah, shout out to Gia Wire as well, because Gia has been doing some good stuff as well with her new single. It's on the way. I know they had some ads as well at Billboard. So
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So let's do ladies first. Let's bring Jessica into the room. Jessica, where are you? Here we go. Oh, come on here.
come on,
Jessica.
come on, come
Hi,
on, come
family.
on.
Hey, how are you?
It's a
What?
whole vibe in here. I
Let's
see you.
go, let's go.
Okay, it's always a vibe
Woo.
here. It's not just a
Yeah.
vibe here, baby. It's not just a vibe here. Good to see you finally. We've been, we've been waiting for a while to get to have you on the show,
Yes,
and
yes.
the schedules never kind of matched up. But to finally have you here is just we are so honored and graced by your presence. So thank you for being on the collab tonight.
Man, thank you. Thank you. I think the last time that we Writing Grounds had a chance to do something with you guys, it was LeBron. So I said,
Yeah.
hey, it's my
Mhm.
turn. So,
Yeah.
Yes.
no,
Exactly.
this is great. Yeah.
Yes. So so much is going on with Writing Round since the last time we had LeBron on the show, because with the tour and everything going on, which we'll unpack that as we continue to talk. But yeah, really, what's going on in terms of you musically? What's happening?
Ooh, with me?
Mm-hmm.
God, a lot of different things. Most of the things that I do with music these days is with my Writing Grounds family.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of writing, a lot of recording, a lot of arranging, and helping on learning the production side. LeBron's
Mhm.
still the boss over there, but I'm learning, y'all. I'm learning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I do have some new music coming out this year. It's down that, I don't know if anybody on here remembers that Give Me Jesus vibe, but it's down that Give Me Jesus lane again.
Yeah.
So we've got that good just the good feeling music,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So I've got a couple. I think I'm doing an EP this year, and putting that out.
Nice.
So I'm excited about that. And then actually featuring on one of the Writing Rounds worship songs this year,
Yeah.
on a song called "A Million Pieces," which I'm really excited.
Mm,
So
Wow.
excited. You have no idea.
Definitely.
But yeah,
that's
yeah.
awesome. That's awesome. Go ahead, Sherwin.
No, I mean a lot of what I want to talk about too is going to involve just kind of even having it firsthand because I think it's really unique tonight that we're also going to be speaking with Melvin as well too, which is going to be really cool because it's we've spoken to LeBron, we've spoken to Jessica, but now hearing firsthand from someone that's a part of the community, what the
Hmm.
community have done for him, and just everything else in general, I think that's going to be a very unique perspective. But
Oh
as
yeah.
Jessica mentioned before too, like the last time we spoke, it was everyone was coming out of the pandemic, people were kind of settling in. They were, you were telling us about wanting to start these in-person retreats, but it hadn't even started as yet. And I
That's
know
right.
a lot happened since then. You guys even partnered with Ty Scott Records, so I definitely want you to unpack a little bit there because I know there's a lot of exciting things that happen
Oh
with
man.
that partnership as well, and how that's going to even benefit both parties, benefit Writing Wrongs as well as benefit their team as well too. Just overall, and you've already gotten a few of those retreats, those right and wrong experiences, as you guys labeled it, out of
Yeah.
the way already. So, how
Yeah.
have some of those been so far?
Man, incredible. Incredible. We talk about it often. Our Writing Rounds experiences, we were online for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where we kind of left off in our
Yeah,
conversation. Like you
yeah.
said, we had maybe one retreat, but it wasn't something we were like, let's do this all the time because there's a lot
Mm-hmm.
of work that goes into doing all of it.
Yeah.
But because we realized so many people that a lot of the comments that we got were something along the lines of, yeah, I'm out here in this city, small city, trying to create, and I don't have a community. There's nobody out here.
Mm-hmm.
There's, things don't come out this way or whatever. So we decided, you know what? We do a lot of things in Nashville, but a lot of people do a lot of things in Nashville.
Yeah.
So, let's find some other cities. Let's go see what we can do there and see what kind of traction we get on that end. And boy, when we opened it up,
Mm.
it just took off. We did first this year, we did Atlanta at the top of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And that one was fantastic. Had some great people come through just to hear songs. Our song share concerts were after they've written all day long, they actually get to share the songs. So
Yeah.
artists and producers and labels that were coming in just to check out, hey, what kind of stuff's coming out of here, and
Mm-hmm.
finding writers like,
Mm,
how can I work with them? Like
mhm.
Yeah.
they were
Yeah.
great. I watched their session. How can I work with them? Just kind of opening doors to give exposure to people that don't typically
Mm-hmm.
have it. Not to say we have all the doors and all the keys to
Yeah.
all the doors.
Of
If we
Yeah.
course.
had all the keys, there'd be a
Mm,
different story.
mhm.
But I don't. All we can do is open up doors that we currently have been through or have access to,
Yeah.
and just see what happens and let them kind of fend for themselves when it comes to stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But we did Atlanta. We went on to Houston this year, which was
Mm-hmm.
awesome. And then Nashville is the last one that we had. And Nashville was just something special because it was our 2-year anniversary. It
Mm.
was the 2 years ago, April 3rd, 2020. Y'all, I'm getting my years mixed up. April 3rd was our very first Zoom writing rounds, the very first
Yeah.
time we did anything. So we got to celebrate with all kinds of people. I think we had close to 40 writers, maybe a
Oh
little bit
wow.
over, that actually came out, and we recorded and we wrote and we hung out and we just got to share and learn together. And so now we've just decided, all right, let's go ahead and book out the rest of the year, get our stops
Mm.
going, and see what happens. So next up, we have Kansas City, Missouri. Kansas
Okay.
City, Kansas. Sorry, I forget that
Mm-hmm.
there's that,
Mhm.
both sides of the line.
Yeah.
But we're in Kansas City. That's a gospel CCM stop. And then we are going to be at the Stellars this year, doing a retreat there at their award show that weekend, and a showcase as well. Then we got a couple other dates the rest of this year, but those are our next two Christian stops of faith-based music. So super
Nice.
excited. It's filling up quickly. I mean, I'm literally getting to do my dream, which is work with creatives.
Wow.
So
Wow.
yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome.
See that, and that's
Um,
great because Patrice, Terry Khan, whom we've spoken to, great friends of ours, Terry
yes.
went to one of those retreats, and she was telling me about it. Terry was like, "Oh my goodness, kind of seeing it online was one thing, but actually being there and just being a part of it, like
Mm-hmm.
she just had so much good stuff to
She was
talk
great.
about as well too. So I mean, yeah, it's that you guys are definitely out there, definitely doing it, and and I'm gonna loop back around on the on the partnership question as
Yeah.
well. But it's really good just to kind of see what you guys are doing, because initially when you started, because you did tell us the backdrop, even when you and LeBron kind of got connected. I know the last
Yeah.
time we spoke, but just
Mm-hmm.
take us back to that. You guys were in college together. So like, what was that backstory between you and LeBron? Because I
Wow.
know a lot of people see what you guys are doing now and
Yeah.
seeing that trust and that building together in partnership, but there's a history that's there before, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the cool part is the stuff we're getting to do now is stuff that we've learned together over the past 8 or 9 years
Hmm.
of working together. We actually met. We both went to Lee University in Cleveland,
Okay.
Tennessee,
Mm-hmm.
and we met. God, I don't know, maybe 15 years ago, 16 years ago, something
Wow.
like that. But we didn't work together. We just kind of knew of each other.
Hmm.
I knew he
Mm-hmm.
did music. He knew I did music, but that was about the extent. But about 8, maybe 9 years ago, I wrote my very first song, and I decided I wanted to sing and record an album. I didn't want to do anything little. There was no single in mind. I was like, let's do a
Mm-hmm.
full-on album. Who do I need to
Mm-hmm.
get?
Both
And
feet, both
LeBron,
feet, jumping with both feet. That's what you did.
exactly. Why
Yeah.
do anything small?
Uh-huh.
Just go ahead and do all of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I did. I found LeBron. I was like, listen, man, I know you're just starting out on this production thing. I'm just
Hmm.
starting out on this artistry side. How about we work together and see how far we can get?
Wow.
Let's see what we can do. And I remember I tell this story. We tell this story different all the time. So if he's on here, if he pops on here, he may have another version. But I remember sitting across, we were at, I believe it was Outback Steakhouse, and we were sitting in a booth and we were talking about it.
Hmm.
And I looked over and I told him all this. And I, in my, naive mind, thought he's just going to be so flattered that somebody asked that he's just going to want to do it all.
Mm-hmm.
But LeBron has always been a very business-minded person. And I remember
Hmm.
he very seriously looked at me and said, if you're serious, I need X amount of dollars by this date to put a down payment on what it is that we're about to do. And I was like,
Mm.
wait a minute, like,
Wow.
where's the
Wow.
money already? Hold on a minute.
Mm-hmm.
But it was funny. I joke about that, but he's taught me so much, even on that end over
Yeah.
these past 8 or 9 years, of how important it is to show people how serious you are by
Hmm.
taking the, setting a bar that's high enough for them to reach. So I
Hmm.
did. I reached for it. I set a goal. I gave him the money, and we got started on my first album, which I don't know if you can find it anywhere now, because I believe we took it down, which I
Okay.
wish now that I hadn't. I wish that I hadn't. But you go through phases and you learn things and you look back and you're
Hmm.
like, man, we've grown so much since then. I guess I was just having a bad day and thought, that does not sound great. Let's go ahead and take it down. It was great for a first album, but we've worked together since then at 3 or 4 different churches together. We've become really good friends. He has produced every song that I've worked on, written
Wow.
just about every song with me.
Mm.
And so it was just almost like a natural evolution into what we're doing now with the writing rounds. We got so frustrated with doors closing, and we knew we had the talent. We knew we could do it
Mm-hmm.
like this. We would
Hmm.
hear
Yeah.
things and we're like, God, we could have done that. We could have done that. But we didn't have the opportunity. Nobody would give us a shot because we
Hmm.
didn't have a resume with all the
Yeah.
names on it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or all the
So no
awards.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. People don't want to give you a chance unless you've already had those chances and proven yourself. But somebody's
Hmm.
got to take a chance to begin with.
Uh-huh.
So that was why LeBron and I were like, you know what? We're not going to be those people. We're going to be the ones that if we don't have the answer, we can point you in the direction where you could find it, or good people, make good connections. And we
Mhm.
have. And part of what we've done is we've created a network of people that they don't all have the answers. None of us
Hmm.
do, but we each have our own role to play in things that we are very well versed in, that we can
Hmm.
help other people learn those things. It's just the power of community. It's the power of community, the power of
Absolutely.
understanding that I don't have what you have, you don't have what I have, but together, oh, we could kill it.
We have it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing. That's what it's all about. The whole community. LeBron and I, yes, we get to be the faces and we get to run it. But my God, all the people that are involved right now, the people in the community, the people that sign up and come to the retreats and the experiences, those are the ones that make this thing so great. They make it great. So yeah, it's a great job to have. I'm loving it.
That's dope. That's dope. Well, one of the things LeBron said when he was on the show, and like I said, right, even before that first, I think he was on here before that first Zoom.
I think
He kind of laid
maybe.
out that plan about wanting to have a place where creators can come together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And he said it was going to be small, but he had that vision that it was going to be, getting to this worldwide, global consortium of writers.
absolutely.
And to see where this is going, like you said, the perseverance component of it is, you had the gifts. Both of you knew how to get, but to get
Mm-hmm.
the
Hmm.
gifts. But what you could have done separately, is one thing. But when you come together and collab,
Exactly.
that really is the whole thing: collaboration, and the right collaboration, and
Absolutely.
it will
Mm-hmm.
stretch you and pull you and in healthy ways that really just help you to develop and grow. And as you were describing the retreat and everything, I kind of had like, oh, I wish I was there. But I'm not a writer.
I thought
Come
the
on
same thing too.
through.
I'm
I
not a
thought the
writer.
same thing too, but I was like, I'm
I
not a
would
writer.
love it
Listen,
there, or be a
well,
fly on the
perfect.
wall, or be a
Listen,
fly on the wall.
this would be, I tell everybody all the time, because I got a lot of people that tell me I'm not a writer, I can't do this and this. First of all, I bet you can write better than you give yourself credit for.
Come on,
Our biggest
prophesy.
thing, say it again.
I said, come on, prophesy. Come on.
I'm telling you right now,
Yeah.
our main foundation is the fact that stories, I'm not going to get on the platform, but music sometimes these days is to a point where we know how to create a banger. We know what everybody's going to love. We know what people are going to go hard for. Oh, when it gets to this on the bridge, everybody's going to go crazy. But we've gotten very shallow in the music that we've put out because we don't take the time to actually use experience and think of who it is that's going to listen. We're trying to create for the masses, and we're forgetting about the
Mm-hmm.
small groups of people that may need what it is that we're doing stuff for, or that we're writing for. And one of the biggest things that I get from people is the fact either, I can't write, or I've missed my chance. I should have done it when I was younger, or people that are saying, I'm too young, I hadn't had enough experience yet, or I don't sing well, or I don't play anything. All those excuses, to me, they don't even stand, because writing a song requires some type of story, and
Yeah.
every person has some type of story. It's all different. Every person has a different side. We have different experiences. We've grown up different. We've lived life different. We've made terrible choices. We've made great choices.
Yeah.
But sitting in a room with someone, and actually having a conversation and hearing their side of a story, I'll hear people talk to me, and I hear a lyric in what they just said. And I'm like,
Wow.
man, if you don't mind me using that, we could write a song off of it, and that's taking someone's story into a song. That's what co-writing is taking experiences and putting them together and creating something. So we've had a lot of people come in there like, this is my first time. I've never really written anything. I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't understand what terms you're saying. But the greatest thing about this community is the fact that we recognize we've all been there. So when you say something like, I don't know, someone in the room, and it's not that we've trained them, they just know. It's the culture of our community to recognize, oh gosh, I have something I can pour out. I have something I can share with them. So when you have a question, you don't have to come to me or LeBron. You could find anybody else in the community. Right now at the experiences, we have 2 different color lanyards, and I didn't think it'd be a big deal until Nashville, and when I recognized it was, where our community members actually wear red lanyards at every experience. People that are new, or it's their first time, or they haven't jumped in yet, or still kind of figuring it out, they have black ones. That we tell anybody, find somebody in a red lanyard. They can answer any question. They can share something with you, or they can find somebody with that answer. And it was just something where it's just like, we recognize me and LeBron don't have to be the ones that know everything. We don't have to be the ones that teach everybody. We can say, hey, you know what? I'm talking to so-and-so right here, but there's about 15 people in that corner right there with red lanyards on. If you walked over there and mentioned one thing about a PRO, they could tell you what it is, how to sign up, what it's going to do for you as a writer, all those things. So I love that part. But say, things like when people tell me I don't usually write, or I can't write music, or I write this, but I don't do that. To me, I believe each person has something they can contribute in a co-write. It may not be a lyric or a melody, but it's some type of story, or you shape in a song. So with that said, I better see you at one of the experiences this year.
Listen, in
right.
my mind, I've already signed up, and having Sherwin by my side, so we do a collab show from one of the writing round sessions.
Hey,
I'm
let's do
still
it.
wait. I'm still waiting. I think and it's still TBD, but my wife might or might not be at one of them. I don't know. She might or might not, but I'm waiting to see what she says. But if she does go,
Yes.
definitely I'll make sure I pop by. And I have to give a shout out to SK the musician. I don't know who
Scott.
that is, but that person basically just said writing wrongs, and he left out the U in wrongs and said all that's missing is you. And I thought
Yeah.
that was a brilliant way of writing that. Like that right
Oh
there
my
should be your
word.
marketing tag. That's your
Wow.
marketing tag right there. I
That is
love
my
that.
that's my
I
first time
love
hearing that. But you know what? It's not a surprise. Scott is one of those that knows how to say something the right way. He just does.
that's it. That's it. That just stuck out from someone that's about branding. That just popped out at me. So
Yes. And let
Scott,
me write
wherever
that
you
down
are
really
right
quick.
there, that's it. That's it, Scott. You guys run with that. That should be on all the marketing items.
Well,
Oh, I love
and
it.
Sherwin just gave it to you for free. There you go.
I
Just give
love
him
I mean,
credit.
it. I
Scott,
love
Scott already give it. I'm just calling it out. Scott give it
Hey,
already. That's it right there. Like that's it.
there you
I
go. You
love
guys
it.
heard
Wow.
it here first. You heard
Yeah.
it here first.
I love
So,
it. I love
so,
it.
Jessica, what is it like when you come together in that room, though? I mean, when you all come together for the evening and you really kind of, after you did the introductions and you welcomed everybody, but then you sit down and to start getting into the flow
Yeah.
of, and for somebody, it could maybe a little awkward. Like you said, the person who thinks they can't write and they may feel
Yeah.
like, kind of sheepish. But once you get into the flow, what is that atmosphere like?
Mm.
It's something that can't really be described. I'm sitting here trying to think of great words to say it, but that's one of the reasons why it's called an experience. Is it's because you
Mm.
have to experience. Like it's even trying to tell people. I get almost so excited. You can tell now, so excited in my mind that I'm like, where do I start with first? When people do come in, typically we have somewhat, not really an icebreaker, but just a chance to kind of network and mingle with people. It's usually the night before everything starts. We usually start things like that on a Thursday night. If not, we'll do it on Friday morning where we just sit back, we chill. LeBron may play some crazy game to try to get everybody to loosen up, or us do some kind of, play music and demo so they can hear what's come out of the community. But almost for them to just get to see our community in action. Because most of the people, we have our staple people that show up, like Scott, for example. If you ever see Scott at one of the stops, he's one of the ones going around and saying hey to everybody. Oh my gosh, it's your first time. I've never seen you before. You picture going into a church. That's what people relate to all the time, walking into a
Scott the
church.
usher. Yeah.
You have your members, you have people that aren't members yet, but they're working on it. We're getting there. But it's just so cool to kind of see, all right, LeBron and I are reading the room. Okay, how many look like they're a little terrified? How many look kind of cool about it? And we kind of gauge from there what the conversation should look like. So things like our label retreat or our community retreat, where it is people that are already with us that are coming to celebrate what we're doing, it's much easier. But people that are brand new and first timers, we're trying not to freak them out. When they walk in, I'm just like, oh my gosh, what did I just do? But at the same time, I almost feel like it's an atmosphere, it's hard to describe an atmosphere. They just walk in and they, we try to make it as open as possible of LeBron and I being approachable. Hey, you can come to us if nobody else, and we can sit here and talk about it. If you want us to come in on your first right and kind of sit and chill and see what's going on and kind of help you get pushed in at the very beginning, just let us know. We'll be there. I actually create all of the rights for the weekend. So I pair everybody together. I put all the rights together. And in each one, I try to put a community member that I know is going to be one of those that's like, hey, let's make sure everybody's getting a chance to talk. Let's make sure everybody feels comfortable, that we've all been heard, things like that. It just works. I don't know. I think it's just, I don't know. It's the atmosphere. It's just the atmosphere.
Wow.
So it is hard to explain. It is hard to say, other than the fact that we've had a lot of people that come and they'll say, man, I was so terrified. And the minute I came in and started talking to people, it was done. I was already family. So it kind of breaks off when you come in the door. So then at night when we get together, it is a very laid back song share concert. We celebrate every song that goes up. That doesn't mean every song is one we take and put with the label and we do stuff with, but we get to celebrate the hard work that was put in that day, the gifts that we used that day, the people that took chances on things that they were terrified to do in the first place, people that tried something new. So it's just interesting to see how that works together. But yeah, it's just an atmosphere. Yeah.
So even too, I get, and I think atmosphere is great how you classified it, right? Because from even what little I've seen and I've read about, I've heard stories that it can be 2 in the morning or 4 in the morning, and people are still up excitingly writing, doing this. Like
Mm,
you don't
Yeah.
get that type of energy from somewhere, right?
yeah.
It's definitely more than just what meets the eye, but to be able to fuel
Yeah.
that type of passion and to just be able to have that even at 2 or 4 in the morning, like
Yeah.
Mm,
that's something real special right there. So
yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
what you're saying makes perfect sense. But I guess my question here would be, let's say, someone comes in, and I'm just thinking from a process perspective, someone
Yeah.
comes in, right, you have a really great song, kind of like what we're going to be talking about once we get Melvin on, already have the victory, you have something that's
Yeah.
really great, and you're moving that through, like, the funnel of sorts. Like, what would
Yeah.
be the next step? Like, there's a recording label that's a part of this. There's different distribution. Like,
So
what
much.
are some of the various parts that if you have a really good song, that person can kind of move through that cycle?
Specifically for the experiences.
Yeah.
Um, so we have our song share concerts at night so that LeBron and I can sit and listen and kind of like, okay, that one went over really well with
Okay.
everybody. People are really vibing with this song. There's no better way to test your song than to actually let other people hear it, especially strangers.
Mm, mm,
Because your best friend's not always going to tell you because they don't want to hurt your feelings.
mm.
I want my
Facts.
best friends to tell
Facts.
me.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah,
family's
yeah.
going to just be proud that you're trying and using one of your gifts for God's glory, which is great.
Do
But
it for the Lord. Do it for the
Listen,
that doesn't
Lord.
always
you
mean
can do it, baby. You can do
Do
it.
it for
exactly,
the
Yeah.
Lord.
exactly.
Mm,
So the Songshare concerts serve different purposes. One is to loosen
Okay.
everybody up. Two is to
Hmm.
celebrate everybody. Three, it's being nosy because you're stuck in a room all day long with three people writing and you want to know what everybody else was doing. So you get to hear
Mm.
it that night.
mhm,
But the biggest reason is LeBron and myself actually sitting and listening to every song,
Mm.
digesting lyrics and hearing melodies and even listening to some of the singers that come through for people that could potentially record some of the other songs that we're working on.
mhm,
So once we hear those songs, we celebrate some of them. We go and talk to them like, dude, please submit that song because that's not the end of the process. We
Mm.
actually send out a link to submit their song. So they turn in a voice
Okay.
memo and they turn in all the lyrics.
mhm,
And then we have, as part of Writing Rounds, we have something called a listening day every month. For
Okay.
example, all the community that's on there right now, y'all should already
mhm,
know, May 31st is our listening day for this month.
mhm,
And that's where me and LeBron and the rest of our team, including some of our partners at Ty Scott, actually sit through and listen to all of the songs that were submitted that month. And we make a
Wow.
decision. We all cast our own vote of like, hey, let's keep this song and let's put it out. Like this
Mm.
is a Writing Round song.
mhm.
Or the decision may be, you know what? Let's keep this song because I hear an artist on this one. Who could we pitch this
Ah,
to?
Gotcha.
that's
Our
good.
last option is to release, actually, what is the decision? I can't remember what we title it, but
Okay.
to let go of the song. Actually, that is what we call it.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
letting go of the song and saying, hey guys, you did an awesome job. Please keep pushing, write some more, send some more songs in. But this song, we're going to go ahead and give back to you guys. You do with it what you need to do.
Mm,
And we'll look forward to hearing some more songs from you in the future.
Mm.
So we either catalog and keep to pitch it, or we catalog and we get ready to release it through Writing Rounds Music or Writing
Wow.
Rounds Worship.
mhm,
Um, and then after that, our good friend Karina Beard, I think she's on here somewhere. She's like our admin brain behind Writing Rounds.
mhm.
Everybody knows Karina, even if you've never met her before.
Nice.
But she makes sure all the split sheets and stuff, makes sure it's a very
That's
easy
good.
process, walks you
Mhm.
through what it is that you need. And then we catalog those things and get them ready to go. So that when
Wow.
we have artists come to us, like Isabel Davis, who's one of the
Mhm.
ones that's recording several of our
I
songs this
I
year.
saw that.
Uh,
Yeah, I saw
Mhm.
that somewhere.
yeah,
She's gonna
yeah.
be taking a few of them for her
Oh,
upcoming album.
several.
Yeah, I read that somewhere. Yeah, that's
It's
Yeah.
and
awesome.
it's exciting. It's exciting when you get. It took me 7 years to get my first placement. The songwriting game is a long game. It is not
Yes.
a
Mm,
fast thing at all.
Mm-hmm.
mhm.
Uh, so we try to encourage people. Just because you let your song go doesn't mean that you're a bad writer. Like keep
Yeah.
writing,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
keep submitting more songs. This just may not be the one for us. That may be one for someone else.
Mhm.
That's why we say stories are so important because my story may not relate to either one of y'all, but it will to somebody else. So
Wow.
that's pretty much the process on that. And the only
Got it.
difference with our online community is they can submit at any point in time any song, whether it's a solo song, whether it's something they've co-written. and they could submit that at any point in time and turn it in. But same things apply, just a demo and their split sheet or their lyrics for it so that we go through. But we listen to everything on the same day. We tried to do it as things were submitted, but we ended up listening every single day to all the songs, and it just got to be a lot. So, yeah, we have our listening day every month, and that's where we make final decisions. Yeah.
Love it. That's go ahead, Patrice.
No. What I was gonna say was, is there a song, or has there been a song? That's the question that has been nominated for either Dove, Stellar, or Grammy that have come out of writing rounds yet?
Not yet. And I say heavy on the yet because it's coming.
Oh, it's coming. Okay.
It is. It's coming. I feel like because it is such a long process that some of the stuff we've even done last year is what we're going to see first. You know what I mean? So all this stuff that we're coming out with, even some of these brand new songs, I do feel like one of the songs we have this year that's coming out is one of the ones that's going to be a really good runner for one of that type of thing. And with our partners at Ty Scott, I think we have an even bigger shot of getting stuff heard to where it can be placed and things like that. But yeah, not yet, but it's coming.
It's coming.
So you mentioned just now too, right? So I think there's one other thing I wanted to ask. So when someone is going through the process during that week and it's written during the I guess you call it the listening show? What did you call it?
The listening day.
The listening day. Now, are these individuals submitting music with it, or they're just singing it just straight a cappella? Like, how does that work?
So they send it with some type of instrument. If it's from an experience, like people writing it together, they don't really have time to get a demo together very quickly. Some of them do. I don't know how they do it, but they do. But they have to turn in something with a vocal and a guitar or keys or some kind of instrument. Okay. As far as our online community, they have time. So they have to turn in a fully ready demo for us. If we were to pitch it to so-and-so today, if Beyonce were to come up to me right now and say, I need a song, that demo's got to be ready.
Got it.
So it's just the difference on those things as far as time. Once we have the experience, attendees turn in their voice memos. If we're like, oh yeah, for example, I already have the victory, the song that's coming out tonight or tomorrow morning, midnight, midnight. That one actually got turned in, and it was a voice memo. And we decided we're going to release this song, so they didn't have to turn in a real demo because we produced it. But if we had said, hey, we're going to catalog and pitch this song, that was when they needed to start the process of getting a real demo completed.
Got it.
Got you. Well, everybody, as you're coming in, you're locked and loaded here on the Collab show here with my good buddy and riding. I can't even, he's not even Bug anymore. The man's in a penthouse now. Let's see, somewhere in New York in the penthouse. The one and only Sharon Williams from Gospel Music Buzz. Remember the 3 Z's on the IG. So please make sure. I saw what you did. I saw
that rhyme. That rhyme. That's the slogan.
She said that earlier too before you came on.
I saw what you did, Jessica. I saw what you did. But everybody's, hey, as you are tuning in, and make sure you please just keep up with us because we got a lot of things happening between our brands, and we're going to talk about Atlanta because we have to bring that into the loop. You will be in Atlanta, and so will we for the celebrity basketball game for Bear Tag Entertainment and sanctioned by the Stellar Awards, mind you. And we will be there. Oh man, we have Coach Jamal Bryan, Coach Marvin Sapp. We've got Molly Music. We've got Jordan Armstrong. We've got Cortez Vaughn. We got them all, and they are going to be on the court playing. And guess what? And we've got some ladies who can ball too. So you got to be there and stay tuned to Indigo Inspire Live and Gospel Music Buzz for all information because your tickets will be able to get to very soon. And it may be even tomorrow. Oh, okay. You'll see it. You'll see it. And get your tickets because space is limited and it will sell completely out. So back to the collab.
I can't see from my end. Is Melvin in the room? If he's in the room, might as well you bring him in. Yeah,
I sure will.
I can't. Yeah, my life keeps freezing. I don't know. IG always does this. One time I'm seeing comments, and the next time it's just frozen. I can't see any comments.
Yeah.
I can't see anyone at all.
Mine too.
So, yeah, it does.
You know. Listen.
I didn't get to do his intro. Hold on.
Wait a second here. I got you. 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 We're gonna do this right. We're gonna do this right. We're gonna do this completely right. Let's bring it. Wait. We need intro music for our guests.
Hey.
Listen, you are in the virtual
What's
studio
happening?
here on the collab. What's going on, Melvin? Good to see you.
How are y'all? I'm so excited to be here.
Loving that background of light, man. Loving the red, man.
Thank
Me
you.
too.
So I had green, and then I saw yours. I was like, got to change it. Got to change it.
There you go.
Listen. Shout out to
love it.
LeBron. He's on here. He is watching tonight. I'm so sorry you couldn't be on here. We couldn't get 5 people in here. But LeBron, you know you'll be back on the you'll be back on the show.
LeBron is working. He's working. He's just taking a coffee break and peeking in. He's working. He's
Always
working.
working.
Always working. So Melvin, you are now a part of the writing. You're a part of the Writing Rounds family.
Yes, family. Keyword. Yes.
Family.
I tell people I'm not a day oneer because I wasn't there on the very first day, but I am definitely a day twoer, and we in there.
Day 2. Hey, long as you in there and you riding all the way to the top. All the way to the top.
So I mean, go ahead, Patrice.
No, go ahead.
No. I was gonna say because my first question is not about music or anything. It's just that this man has a really good beard, so I just have to ask, and this is strictly a selfish beard question. So what is the routine we got here? Are we using, are we about the oils? Or are we about the cream? Like, what are we doing here?
Okay, so I'm an oil guy. The Shea Moisture Beard Collection is my favorite.
Okay.
So we shampoo once a week. We condition 3 times a week. We comb it out with the conditioner. And then we apply the beard oil. And then we apply the shine. But I don't shine every day because people don't realize when you shine every day, it thins you out.
Come on.
So don't shine every day.
Not every day.
You're good 2, 3 times a week. You ain't got to do it every day. You ain't got to be glistening.
Okay.
Looking like glitter, but
I like it.
But that's my thing. I love my beard now.
That was my question.
Jessica, do you co-wash? Are you co-wash using a deep conditioner? Because we have now turned into an all beauty show here.
I was about to say, I feel a little left out. I was over here just like covering because I don't have anything to add.
We can talk music. We can talk music though. It's all right.
Well,
it's
here's
all right. We can talk music.
The real problem would be is if LeBron was on here instead of me, because then you'd really be outnumbered. They'd all 3 be talking about these beards.
Oh, Bron has a great beard too.
He does. He does.
So on to our this Writing Rounds experience. I want to know, what was that like when you first kind of encountered this incredible group of creatives?
There's a video on our YouTube page. And by the way, can I please just, first of all, thank y'all for having us or having me. Secondly, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube page, please do so, because we have so much content. And if you're on the fence about coming to an experience, you really get to see a lot of the behind the scenes of our experiences. And I said that not just to drop that, but literally there's a video on YouTube of our Nashville 2021 retreat in the fall. And we're recording, you see our first day, and I am petrified.
Wow.
Like every time the camera like scans me, I'm like, every time, like even when we were singing, I was like shy. I'm in the very, very back behind absolutely everybody. So I was petrified because I didn't know what I was walking into. I knew Jessica. She was the only person I knew from the community, and I really hadn't known her that long. We had just met a few months prior, and it was just like we were instant friends. Like it was crazy the way it kind of happened. So she was the only person I knew, and I had never seen her like in her role as leader. So it was really different. It was like, oh my God, I don't know anybody, because she's like this big, powerful, like leader. She's like she totally changes when it comes to writing rounds. It's like we just see her transform into somebody different. And so I had never met that Jessica before. I knew like sweet country Jessica. I didn't know like boss lady mama Jessica. So I was petrified. I was so afraid. I'm singing a Gloria Gaynor song. Anyway.
Come on now.
Anyway, we started the first night. After we got done with the first night, a couple people introduced themselves to me, and I was overwhelmed. I'm kind of an introvert. People don't believe it, but writing rounds has really pushed me out of my shell. But I went and I sat in the corner to wait for instructions, and I sat beside one of the community members, AB, and Karina Beard. They were both sitting in the corner there, and Karina just did the nicest thing, and she just put her hand on my shoulder, and it instantly melted me. And then I had on these red and white pants, or these orange and white pants, and AB was like, "It's the pants for me." And I was like, oh my God, like somebody actually reached out and said something to me, because I felt so invisible. Because I was like, all these people know everybody. It's a family, and I won't be able to fit in. And from that moment on, like everybody started bringing me in. Scott was like the next person I met, and he was like, "I love your spirit." And I'm like, I've been mean the whole night. I don't know what he sees. And then he ended up being my roommate on that trip. So it was just that's the one that said, "Writing rounds, all we need is you." So that's kind of how that was my first experience. And then the next night in my first writing session, I didn't know what to expect. I've only ever co-written with one or two other people before, but I love to write, always wanted to write. And I walked into the writing session, and literally 5 minutes into the writing session, I felt like, you know, you get that I had like a sigh of relief, because everybody was so committed, and everybody was so nice, and everybody, it was really how kind everybody was. And like some of those people that I had my first session with are now like people that I literally talk to every day. And they've become like family to me. And so that first session, I knew I was at home. It was one of the best experiences. I had been dealing with like a writer's block before I got there, and it's just like as soon as I got in that atmosphere, everything the words started flowing, ideas started coming. It was one of the most probably my biggest moment of 2021. It was like everything just broke open for me. And it's been a wonderful experience ever since then. So you see like the transition, because then like the next night in the videos, I'm like dancing and screaming and jumping at the top, like acting crazy. So like, it's kind of like, and everybody has that moment in writing rounds. Like everybody comes in as Peter Parker, and you see them transform into Spider-Man by the end of like, there's never been a person who's left the same. And that's what I love to see about writing rounds. I'm like, because everybody takes it in and it touches everybody differently. So
that's awesome. That is awesome. Go ahead, Sharon.
No, I think that, and that was that first real, raw, honest, feedback that I was looking for as well, to just like what happened. Because I'm always, when you're looking at these things, and I'm sure, we're talking to writers every day, we're talking to artists that's always thinking exactly what you said, right? Because everyone is always, one thing I've noticed about creatives is like, you guys are one of the most critical bunch when it comes to yourselves. Like someone else can see something in you, and you're like, oh, you're so awesome. They're like, yeah, but that part, that one line, I just can't get this, I just can't that. So just to be knowing that type of personality trait that you deal with, but then someone going into a room where you're not feeling judged and you're not feeling any of that, but it just comes in a whole different alignment. So I think that was really good just to hear you kind of break that down, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And then my question is going to be a little bit along the lines of this new, this video that's going to be released at midnight, already have the victory. So before we talk anything, start with the name, kind of, just back us into it. Like, what exactly does that mean for you, already have the victory?
Yeah.
Yes. So already have the victory. I am a person. First of all, one thing about writing rounds is I like to say that we have counseling sessions and call it songwriting, because everybody brings their story. Everybody, we if we have to stop the write to pray, or stop the write and just be like, listen, you are amazing. Like, even we do whatever we have to do, and everybody brings their story. So for me, already have the victory kind of speaks to my personal battle with fear. I have been so afraid to do anything. That's just been who I've been my whole life. I'll start something and then I don't finish it because I'm afraid, you know. And so already have the victory. For me, I was able to identify with this song because we were just having a conversation about the children of Israel and how God was so the word we used in our writing session was careful with them. He was so careful to guide them, and he was so careful to lead them, and he made sure that they had a leader that could handle them. He made sure that Moses was just as careful with them as he was with him. And we talked about how he led them. They never went anywhere without his leading. So we were talking about like all of the wonderful miracles they have seen: water coming out of the rock, the parting of the Red Sea, manna, like quail falling, like all of these wonderful things. And then when they transitioned to Joshua and they had to cross Jordan, they got afraid again. And we know that their story was battling, tussling back and forth, coming out of idolatry. I'm not trying to preach, but coming out of idolatry into coming to realize who God really is for them. And so we were reading about them crossing Jordan, and we were reading about them, you know, going into Jericho. And we were like, and I think Jamie McDonald was like, if God told me that he was going to fight for me, why am I afraid? He literally already promised me victory. And that's so, and Lauren Bird, I got to shout out the co-writers, Lauren Bird, Jamie McDonald, and Candace Pugh Alexander. And so while we're talking, Lauren is like sitting over there on the keyboard, like scoring our whole conversation. And we're talking about, and so we get so excited. We're like, we want, okay, this is a fun song, but we want to create a song for people like us. Because at some point, all of us are the children of Israel. At some point, we've all seen God do something, and we know what he can do, but will he do it again? Or will he do it for me? I know what he's done for grandma. I know what he's done for past generations, but can he do it for me? Everybody has that moment where it's, you have to put your faith in action and you have to stand on his word. And so the first thing that came was that bridge. Enemies surround us, but they can't overtake us because we remember what you said. Even in the chaos, you will not forsake us. We will stand on what you said. And so then we started saying, what did he say to them? What was the promise? Be strong and courageous. That's what he told them. I will deliver you. And so literally the song came about us talking through the scriptures and talking about our personal experiences. If I were the children of Israel and there was a theme song, we're talking about like if we're crossing Jordan, right? And there was a theme song to keep us like motivated and keep us going, what would it sound like? And so like we wanted like that kind of like triumphant sound, but testifying at the same time. So that's when we got to like, enemies surround us, they can't overtake us, we remember what you said. And we started like, I mean, it was an amazing write. And we had so much fun in our write. But let me testify, after we left that room, we had to fight for that song. Because as we worked so hard on it, we were so happy with it. Then we got to our song share concert and completely forgot it. We couldn't remember it. We couldn't remember the words. Like we couldn't remember the rhythm. We couldn't remember anything. The tracks that we used to write with weren't working. We couldn't get anything together. And so I was embarrassed. I'm that person where I was like, all right, that's an L for us. Let's sit down. Don't worry about it. This song is over. It's dead. I never want to hear this song again. And so then I went to Jess later that night and I was like, we really, can we get a second chance? Just to kind of piece it together. I was like, I know this song is probably bad, but I just want to, I can't give up. Like if either I need to leave and go home or either I need to stick it out. And she was like, well, you're not leaving. So we're going to stick it out. So I went and we worked on it the next day, and then we were like, okay, something is missing. So we
Yeah.
asked LeBron if he could help us play keys. And there's a video on
Mm.
YouTube of or our Instagram page of us standing around the piano, and LeBron is playing and we're singing it and we're like hugging each other and we're like, yeah, we're so excited because that's the moment the song came together.
Wow.
And so I learned that we were singing about pressing forward and fighting and moving in victory, not realizing that even in the smallest way, God was showing us what that song could really mean for us. That even to perform that song, we had to trust Him and we had to go through something uncomfortable. But then at the end of the day, He already gave us the victory. And in this case, it was a song that nobody was more surprised than us when Jess called and was like, we want to record that song. We was like, what? The song that we didn't think we did well on, we didn't think that we had to fight for. So it's more than just a song for us. It's literally a testimony, and it has inspired me. I know I put on Instagram that it was a song that I needed to sing through the season that I was going through, because at Writing Rounds, I was ready. You know, I talked to Jessica in January when we wrote it, and I was like, Jess, I'm burnt out. I'm ready to give up. I can't do this. I don't think I have what it takes. I stepped out on faith, and I don't know if I stepped out on the right word. And everybody like encouraged me or whatever. And so this song really means more than just words on a page. It is literally my testimony. And so I sing it with confidence. And I'm so honored that they asked me to sing it, because I was thinking of everybody else who could sing it. We have an incredible singer, Josiah Palmer, in our group. And I was like, we wrote this song for Josiah to sing. And Jess was like, no. So,
Wow.
sorry. I get so caught up.
Well, we are excited for tonight's midnight release, and as we are coming towards the top of the hour, and Instagram, the watch clock, they see us now. So we want to make sure we get the information out about your social media, how they can find you, and the song will be on all platforms.
Or is it just YouTube? Or just the video on YouTube?
It's just YouTube.
It
Okay.
is. It is.
Okay.
It's just YouTube. If you follow Writing Rounds here on Instagram, it's just at Writing Rounds. You'll find the link in our story to be able to actually go ahead and check out the video. Or you can go to YouTube and just type in Writing Rounds, and it should be one of the first things that pops up. But you're going to see the community come in real deep tonight on that video at midnight, because they're going to be in there just celebrating. We get to celebrate every time a song is released, because it really does feel like a whole family effort. It may be 4 people's names on there that are writers, and 1 person as a singer, and 1 is the producer, 1 is the keys, but it really is the whole community is back behind all of it. So I'm excited. It is just on YouTube, so make sure you run it up. Go ahead and listen. Get your pep talk like Melvin had to give himself. You know, this is his pep talk. Go ahead and listen every morning. Start your day off right. Yes. All that stuff. Yes. But yeah, and I will say, y'all, Melvin does not give himself enough credit. He may be the day tour, like he said, but he is now officially, and I don't know if I can even give titles like this, but he is the official hype man for Writing Rounds. There is not a person that goes harder and sends out. I remember, he was like, I've messaged about this many people today, and I've sent this many people talking about our stop here. And I'm like, boy, I feel like I need to work a little harder. Melvin's outdoing me, But it's just so
we are so we are so glad you guys came on tonight and took an hour out of your time in this evening to be here on the collab. And we have got to have you back to talk about this after this. So once that thing releases, please share it, drive those numbers up, and like their channel, and make sure anything that's coming out from Writing Rounds, please support. Real fast, Jessica, your social media handles.
Oh, yes. And I know our community is supposed to be dropping them in these comments over and over again. So at Writing Rounds here on Instagram, if you follow that, we have several different pages for the different avenues of music we release. You can find it all there. And on Facebook, same thing, just Writing Rounds. And then YouTube, same thing. Everything straight Writing Rounds all the way through. Awesome. But yeah, follow us, find us, like everything, all the stuff. Yeah.
Love
Awesome,
it, love it,
awesome.
love it. And I appreciate you guys as well
Yes.
coming on. And I have to say,
Yeah.
Melvin, real quick, when I found that link on Instagram, at least 100 of those views would have been from me because I kept refreshing and going back and listening to it and going back again. Amazing song.
Oh,
I
praise
can't
God.
wait for the
Thank
full
you.
video. I can't
It's
wait.
good. It's so
It's
good.
coming
Well,
tonight. You can hang out with us on
I
YouTube.
know. I will be there. You will see me in the comments.
Absolutely,
perfect.
absolutely, absolutely. So everybody, we thank you with this last 30 seconds we have here for the collab. It went by so fast, but
Yeah.
we will see you next week with a brand new artist in preparation also for telling you what's going on with the celebrity basketball game in Atlanta on Thursday, July 14th. Be in the building. But in the meantime, everybody follow Gospel Music Buzz 3Z's on the IG as well as here on Instagram Live and in Indigo Inspired Live. So we love you. It's not just a vibe.